Hello mọi người, chào mừng mọi người đã quay trở lại với channel của mình Mr. Tyrant đây. Hôm nay chúng ta sẽ làm cái nhiệm vụ truyền thuyết của Chiori. Oh.
Why don't we go check out some of the shops? Maybe we can pick up. Is this really okay?
Lại Titia, một cái tình quái gì vậy? Có thật lộn không?
I told you I could do it using the leftover funds from the original deposit. Don't tell me you're afraid that I cheaped out on the dress.
Gì căng thế?
No, not at all. I have only the fullest faith in your work, Miss Chiori. I'm just in shock, that's all. It's always been my dream to wear a Chiori boutique dress for my wedding. I really thought the chance had passed me by.
Tặng cưới à?
Wait, isn't that Chiori? She's actually at her shop today?
Chắc là tình
You've got a point there. Well, once she's done with her customer, we can go and ask her.
Okay.
I'm a woman of my word. If I say I can do something, then it will be done. The first rule of business is to always keep your promises.
Tôi nói được làm được, không được vụ lời hứa, không được vụ lời hứa của khách hàng.
Now, remember to not fold together or store it under direct sunlight. I'd recommend only taking it out on the day of the wedding. But from the look on your face, I can tell that may be a little difficult for you.
I'll try my best. Once he sees me in this, his jaw is gonna drop straight to the floor. Chiori, you're actually at your shop today!
Is that really so shocking? It is mine after all. Anything you're looking for today? A custom design, or perhaps some ready-to-wear outfits for kids?
Hey, Paimon's not a kid!
Oh, that. Well, if news of the event has reached your ears, I suppose the Fontaine Apparel Association's advertising efforts have paid off.
Thực ra mọi thứ cũng ở mức bình thường thôi.
Are there any fun and popular activities that we can take part in?
Fashion Week isn't what I call fun, but it certainly always attracts a crowd. It's a fashion extravaganza that only takes place once a year, after all.
Will you be showing off some of your designs too?
Of course. All designers at the Court of Fontaine use the week to advertise their brand. If you're lucky, you could even land a large amount of orders as soon as the main show ends. Come to think of it, it was also at a previous fashion week that our label first took off.
Aren't you pretty much an established name now? People will still buy your clothes even if you don't participate this year, right?
That's not quite how it works. While many people buy clothes for fit and style, the fashion industry also strongly values a label's artistic vision and creative direction. Why would anyone patronize a label that hasn't even bothered to put out any new designs for the year? In the end, fashion is just a representation of the spirit of the times. People support your brand because they support the vision it represents.
Huh. Okay, so maybe fashion's more complicated than Paimon thought.
Tôi đâu hiểu được.
Complicated stuff aside, you're saying we'll be able to see new Chiori designs at the show?
Okay.
Absolutely. The designs have already been finalized. I'm just waiting for the fabrics to arrive.
Ooh, are you using materials you can't get in Fontaine?
Well, I still have a certain partiality to Inazuma-made fabrics. The textures are pleasant to the touch, and their familiarity gives me a sense of security.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's that feeling of home.
Something like that. Yes.
We're a long way from Inazuma, though.
Aren't you concerned that your shipment might get lost or stolen along the way?
No need to worry. I've already taken steps to ensure that it'll arrive safely. I've entrusted the job to Company Express's most reliable courier.
Nhân viên giao hàng đáng tin cậy nhất là tên gì nhỉ, quên rồi.
Excuse me. Coming through. Chiori, your ship is
Kirara, quên
I know it's
ngang.
late, so I'm really sorry.
Deep breaths, Chiori, then start again.
Oh, so Kirara's the courier you were talking about.
Oh, hey, Traveler and Paimon. Fancy seeing you here in Fontaine. It's been a while. Wait a second. This is the second time that you've seen me flub a delivery job now, isn't it? Oh, you somehow always happen to catch me off my game, huh?
So, what was the holdup? Sailing delays, bad weather?
Huh? No, nothing like that. I just ran into a bit of trouble, that's all.
Bandits, then? Or treasure hoarders?
Well, I didn't run into anyone exactly. I just got a little lost.
Nói sao?
Keeping you honest as always, I see.
Alright. I was stopped by a group of bandits as soon as I entered Fontaine.
Đối thủ cạnh
They
tranh
were
này.
a little different from the ones I usually run into. I could hear them mumbling about Company Express. It was
So it was a targeted hit?
I got this.
My fabric shipment?
Có thể là đối thủ cạnh tranh. Vụ này nghe quen lắm.
They said that I could go as long as I left the goods with them. Otherwise, they'd stuff me into my delivery box and toss me into the sea to drown.
Oh, are you okay, Kirara?
I'm good. I'm still a yokai after all. I turned them over to the guards. It just took me a while to round them all up.
Well, it's not completely out of the ordinary for one of your deliveries to get intercepted. Is there something else that you're keeping from me?
Huh? Well,
Perhaps I need to reconsider how many stars to give you in my review.
you always know how to get me, Chiori. Alright, I'll talk. So, I kind of wanted to know why anyone would order a hit on me, so I spent a bit of time investigating. One of the bandits had a loose tongue, which saved me some time. He said that a certain person had commissioned them to intercept Chiori Boutique's And
Who might this person be?
Chiori, why don't we just let this one go? I mean, I didn't really get injured, and you still...
I appreciate your kindness, Kirara, but if I don't teach this person a lesson, I doubt they'll stop here. Anyone that dares to mess with one of my friends deserves a stern talking to and then some.
All right. The guy said that the commissioner was someone by the name of Uter.
Ai đây?
No, that name rings a bell.
Well, that's exactly why I didn't want to bring it up to you.
So you both know this Uter guy?
Through Chiori's complaints about him, sure. He's a fellow fashion designer who's made it his goal in life to make hers as miserable as possible.
Đối thủ cạnh tranh.
So he's like a business rival.
Biết mà, cũng không lạ với ngữ này lắm.
Is what you call someone who fights you fair and square. Uter, however, just has it out for me as a designer. He's publicly disparaged my design choices, my use of materials. He's practically tried every trick in the book to ruin my good name.
Mấy cái loại người này thì không sống bền được đâu, nói thiệt là vậy.
I've already warned him before to compete with me fair and square, but I guess he prefers playing dirty. Well, I'm more than happy to have blood.
Wait, Chiori, where are you going?
To teach someone a lesson. You must be tired after your long journey. Why don't you rest in my shop for a little while?
Chiori! Wait!
And she's gone.
Oh no. What should we do?
You seem concerned. Should we be worried about Chiori?
Well, she's about to do will feel negative publicity about her right before the start of Fashion Week.
Nói thiệt thì mấy cái người có tài năng thực sự dù có ở đâu thì họ cũng sống được thôi. Còn kẻ không có tài năng một thích chọc máy thì nó không sống nổi đâu, cá luôn.
Traveler, Paimon, could you go after and check out the situation for me? As a formal employee of Komonia Express, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to get involved.
Được thôi, đi gặp thằng khốn đó nào.
Take good care of Chiori.
To be honest, I'm more worried about that hotel guy's safety.
Tránh đi ngăn chặn án mạng nào mọi người. Chết người thì mệt á. Đi nào. Đi thông dong đó, từ từ thôi. Ôi rồi, chào nha. Mạng hơi yếu nhỉ, hơi chậm nè. Nó hơi giật cứ thông cảm. Đây có Chavez này. Bữa mới làm sự kiện xong đó.
Any chance you're on the clock, officer? Nothing good ever comes out of you addressing me like that. Oh, and I see the Traveler and Paimon are here too.
Surprise! We meet again.
Công việc thuận lợi chứ.
Things have been fine on my end. We were able to bring in a large number of recruits thanks to that film we made.
Wow.
I suppose the trade-off is that I'm now constantly getting stopped for autographs while out on patrol. Not...
Well, you were one of the leading roles after all.
Cũng không gì lạ đó.
So, did something happen? Indeed it did. I'll need you to come with me. I only ever hear that phrase from you. Usually I'm the one asking people to do that.
Okay.
Well, are you coming? Not before I know what you're planning. Have I ever made a bad call? The better question is, have you ever made one that didn't violate proper procedure?
Chưa.
Okay. A man hired a group of bandits to mug my friend. I'm about to go teach him a lesson. Are you sure this is something you should be telling the captain of the special patrol? It's getting hard to tell whether you're here to report a case or turn yourself in for one. Neither. I'm requesting personal supervision from said captain, so I don't do anything too out of line.
Tôi chịu thua. Đây, nhà thứ hành cũng chịu thua rồi đây. Eater, chúng ta đã chịu thua rồi.
Are you planning to?
Eater.
Not if I can help it.
Cố gắng. Ok, tôi có tôi mà. Thật.
Alright. Where is this person? Follow me.
Follow me. Làm tới đây.
Just promise you'll start trying to keep yourself out of trouble. Well, when trouble stops coming my way, I'll be sure to get on that.
Chúng ta giữa hàng bàn cho thằng hốt này. Không đánh nó bật đâu.
This should be the place. You all wait here. I'll go have a chat with him.
You know, Chevrolet, Paimon gets the sense that you two are actually pretty close.
It's just as Chiori said. We got to know each other pretty well in our lines of work. You could call it a you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours sort of.
Does Chiori often need your help?
I'd say it's mutual. The Special Patrol needs her help quite often as well. We've got tough problems of our own. Getting people to talk, the uniform, the musket, they're intimidating. Most people clam up the minute they see us. Lips sealed so tight, getting them to talk almost feels like trying to break into the fortress of Maripede. But put them in a clothing boutique, and they suddenly start gushing faster than the waters at the Fountain of Lucine.
Oh, is it because they're trying to show off or something?
Yep. People are vain creatures. They can't help but want to talk up new developments in their lives or show off how much they know about other people. And nothing brings out that sort of vanity quite like fashion. As a result, Chiori often picks up on all kinds of information in her shop.
Most of her customers are members of the upper class, which means they're pretty much up to the gills in wealth and intel.
Okay.
You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours.
Exactly. I'm also here to ensure Chiori's safety. Those who make trouble for her also tend to be rich and powerful. And in some very rare cases, I'm forced to protect other people from Chiori herself.
Sao thế?
So, who got on her case this time? It's been a while since I last saw her that angry.
Oh, so this is what happened.
Có tiếng đồng hồ tắt nữa. Đây cũng là đầu tư phết nha.
Huh? Uter, you say?
You've heard of him?
Yep. He's made trouble for Chiori several times already. He's fond of pretty much every dirty trick in the book. I heard, so he's back at it, huh? His funeral, I guess.
Wow, coi như đây là án tử rồi đúng không?
Whoa, what's this about a funeral all of a sudden?
I just meant that Uter's done for. Now bring it in, you two. Get right up close.
Sure, but why?
Because this is probably going to turn into one of those very rare cases I just talked about.
Tôi nghiệp chưa kìa. Thấy tội quá mọi người. Dù biết là kẻ xấu nhưng mà thấy tội nghiệp quá.
What are you doing? Stay away from me!
Has anyone ever taught you the definition of stupidity?
Huh?
Stupidity is doing the same meaningless thing over and over again. It appears you've forgotten what I told you before. So, allow me to refresh your memory. Lay off the dirty tricks.
Chữ thế, con gái vậy. Sao tên mạnh thế nhỉ?
Oh, and if you dare lay your hands on my friend again, you can expect a far less pleasant landing next time. Ahem.
Chiori?
Officer, an assault's in progress! Please, officer, you've got to do something!
Of course. I'll do my utmost to investigate the situation. Unfortunately, I was chatting with this traveler and seemed to have missed what happened. Not to worry, though. If you'd allow me to search the scene, I'm sure I'll be able to collect some useful evidence. You don't mind, do you? There's nothing in there that would implicate you in any illegal activity, I would hope.
Forget it. It wasn't...
Ms. Chiori, I must also ask you to refrain from engaging in such disorderly conduct in the future, especially out in the open like this.
Apologies, officer. I guess you could say I'm just used to tossing out any trash I come across in the street.
Is there anything else either of you have to say for yourself?
That's all from me. I sincerely hope that today's events will never happen again.
We'll see about that.
Chờ tới ngày mình chết đấy hả? Con gái mà giữ cái này tôi sẽ không bao giờ đụng tới đâu. Tôi không bao giờ gây chiến phụ nữ mọi người. Đáng sợ lắm.
Whoa, that scared the heck out of Paimon. How did he just go flying?
You're too kind.
Now's not the time to be accepting compliments. What happened to not doing anything too out of line?
Not if I could help it, is what I said. And I think I kept to that. I started with a verbal warning, but he displayed neither shame nor remorse.
Insults and threats so bad that he deserved to be tossed out like a sack of trash?
Believe it or not, they were that bad. He deserved to get knocked down a peg. It's the only way to get him to stop.
You could have reported him to the guards.
Oh, I will. But it'll take some time for them to gather evidence. And he denied that he ever had anything to do with those. I don't want anything else to happen during Fontaine Fashion Week. On top of that, if Kirara is going to continue delivering goods for me, Oh, that reminds me. There is another favor I'd like to ask of...
What a shame. I believe you've already used up your favor quota for the...
Have I? Well,
It's a good thing I was... Don't you think you're maxed out on advances already? I always pay you back in information, don't I? It's just like you said. You scratch my back, and I...
Qua gần đây nó chạy bộ chứ.
We're back.
You were gone for an awfully long time. Please tell me nothing bad happened.
There's nothing to worry about. All you need to know is that you'll never have to worry about someone in Fontaine messing with your deliveries again.
Sorry, Chiori. I didn't mean to cause you so much trouble.
What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. Those greedy bandits are blame, along with a certain someone who doesn't know when to lay off the petty tricks. The next time you need to leave the city, call the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. They'll escort you half of the way, and the Spina di Rusula can take the second half. With that sort of escort, the next time you make a delivery, those treasure hoarders won't go anywhere near your goods.
Good one, Chiori.
I'm being serious. You know me. If I bring something up, you can assume it's already a done deal.
Wait, you don't mean...
I've already spoken to the captain of the Special Patrol. As discussed, the patrol's going to take a small detour during their daily training tomorrow.
There's really no need. I'm just a simple courier. I don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of armed guards.
Well, you certainly shouldn't count on such a procession for every trip you make to Fontaine. It's just a one-off thing. It'll also show those guys what'll happen to those who dare to mess with my friends. Yes, well put.
Well, if you think it's a good idea, Traveler, then I guess it's fine.
Ok, vậy thôi.
With the bad guys out of the way and your goods safely delivered, everything should be good to go for Fontaine Fashion Week, right?
I believe so. I'll try to churn out a few more outfits over the next few days. I've heard a lot of suppliers will be participating this year.
Someone's gonna take a guess and say suppliers are super important.
But of course, they supply us designers with funding, equipment, factory access.
Ồ,
You have to work with them if you want to become a truly renowned fashion house. That's also why this year's Fashion Week is so important to me.
But isn't your brand already really famous, Chiori? Your clothes are so pretty and so nice to wear. I can't help but brag about them to my customers whenever I get the chance.
Even so, I would imagine there are still people who've never heard of the Chiori brand.
Well, I mean, with the amount of places that I delivered,
Then it's still more famous enough. My goal is to...
All of it? Your business would have to get pretty huge then.
wait, would that mean I could just go to any Chiori branch on the continent to get my clothes fixed? It has been pretty inconvenient having to come to Fontaine every time I need to get them patched up.
Alternatively, of course, you could just be a bit more careful with them. They're already about as durable as I can make them.
Okay, I'll admit, they do get snagged on branches pretty often, but I can't help it. It's hard to be...
Well, if that's your dream, Chiori, then we should do our best to make it a reality. Is there anything we can do to help?
I'm sure I could think of something.
What is it? What is it?
Why don't you come to my shop tomorrow and model for me? Simply put, you'll serve as my living mannequins.
Oh, so we get to try on some of your clothes? Got it.
Seeing them off the rack will also give you the chance to make some small adjustments to the stitching and the silhouette of the designs.
Sounds easy enough.
No, we've already booked them
Okay.
If you like them, though, feel free to visit the boutique and see if anything catches your eye.
ok.
Ooh, sounds great. I was just starting to get curious about all this design stuff.
Then we have a deal. You'll model some formal wear, Traveler, and I don't know. Paimon here will show off some kids' designs.
Yep, sounds good. Wait. Kids clothes? Mama told you already, she's not a little kid.
Người ngồi nói chuyện đẹp.
Speaking of clothes, do yours happen to need any mending right now, Chiori?
Well,
Need a bit of letting out around the middle.
no! It's a tear. Those bad guys did it.
Lắm lộn. Sao chắc đây rồi, vào đây nè, chắc không sao. Rồi vô tìm được trang rồi.
Chiori, we're here!
You're here early. I haven't even opened the shop yet.
Wait, has Chiori left already?
Yep, with the special patrol. Right now.
Okay.
Did everything go alright on the road?
I believe so. The patrol makes for quite the entourage. The way they marched forward with Chiori in the center, you'd think she was some sort of VIP. For the second leg, the Spina also came with a pretty large group, led by Navia herself. They took care to clear the path beforehand as well. Chiori won't so much as step on a single stray rock on her journey. I even heard that Navia decided out of the blue to make a batch of macarons as a going away gift for Chiori. An excellent souvenir to remember Fontaine by, I'd say.
Sounds like Navia really got into it.
My thoughts exactly. She even lamented the fact that she didn't have time to prepare something even fancier.
You know, now that you mention Navia, Paimon thinks the two of you are actually pretty similar. You see?
I suppose that's why we're such good friends. Navia has a certain resilience about her. It's part of who she is. No matter what comes her way, that same spirit is the true vision of my brand. When she first mentioned commissioning an outfit for my boutique, well, I'm sure you can imagine my excitement.
It's like finding the perfect brand ambassador, huh?
Indeed. Customers pay attention not just to the clothes, but also to the figures in society who wear said clothes. People like to copy the styles of those they look up to.
Huh. And here Paimon thought all that mattered was for the clothes to look cute.
Fashion is about more than just looks, my dear. Especially if you've got your sights set on a mark. Well, would you look at the time?
Oh yeah. Come on, let's get down to business. We're here to model.
Indeed. Give me a moment while I go retrieve some fabrics and sample outfits.
Set them up.
Just carefully organize the ready-to-wear clothes with an eye toward their types and styles. This way, we can guarantee that the customers will see something different every day.
Whoa, there sure is a lot that goes into running a store.
Well then, I'll leave the displays to you.
So, we just need to put all the clothes with similar styles together, right?
Not bad. You might just have an eye for design. Anyway, let's move on to the real task at hand. Over here, stand still. I'll take your measurements first. Excuse will be ready next week, so there's no need to worry about missing the ball.
Oh, no. Nothing like that, Miss Can't? But you can keep the deposit, of course. I know you can't return any.
Don't worry about the materials. I'm more concerned. It's all right. I'm not trying to make things difficult.
Thank you.
Don't worry about it. Just let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Thấy đi đó hơi kỳ lạ đi.
Is it just Paimon or was she acting?
It's not a big deal. These things happen every once in a while. A family emergency, an important payday falling through, a lover's quarrel. Judging from the look on her face, something's keeping her from repeating.
Well, guess this means you'll have more time to work on fashion.
That's true. Come.
Is Miss Chiori in?
I am. How can I help you?
I'd like to return this item.
Oh.
It's just not to my liking. You said I could get it.
Is there something about it that didn't meet your expectations?
No need. You don't have to concern yourself.
And I'd be happy to process that for you. If you could just tell me the copy I'd like to
Another one?
Is there some sort of new calamity coming that I haven't heard about? Another flood? Or surely the entire population of Fontaine didn't convene and pick this one day to come and return my clothes.
What kind of rags are you trying to sell us, huh? The way I see it, this calm down, sir.
What is he talking?
Haven't you heard? Chiori boutique has been exposed for having close ties.
And just who is it that dares to throw that?
Well, you tell us. The fabrics you've got here, they're all sourced from underground factories, aren't they?
I've been transparent about my materials from the very beginning. If a little hearsay and baseless slander are enough to convince you, then by all means. Aloft!
Miss Chiori?
Go outside and help these customers with their return requests. Alright, and once you're done, put up the sign that says we're closed. Got it. They couldn't be more fabricated if you tried. No need to worry. The real goal here is to divert my attention away from fashion.
You say so, but
The best way to respond to public skepticism is to let your work speak for itself. There will be no doubt about the quality of my work once my new
Loại
designs
này
are
cũng thấy nhiều
released.
rồi nên cũng không
The
có nhiều.
public just has to see it for themselves.
Miss Chiori, bad news.
Oh, for the love of...
Can a woman? It's our accessories supplier. They just sent word that they'll no longer be able to.
What? No accessories? Not even the ones we pre-ordered?
Yes, that's what they.
And what about the models we have?
I think.
even the suppliers believe those nasty rumors?
Is the messenger still here?
No, they've already left.
So, no accessories means no brooch?
Not just that. It means no gems, ribbons, gold thread. Oh,
But if you take those away, does that mean you won't be able to make your design?
Alaf, you stay and watch the shop. I'll go talk to the supplier myself.
Yeah, and we can match for you too. We'll make sure your supplier knows there's.
Thank you. In that case,
Ok, tôi nhớ đây là một trò rất bẩn nha. Cái thể loại này thì không thể tha thứ được. Rồi mày sẽ chích một biết mẹ biết tao. Chó này, chó tự nhiên giờ con chó u thê gì đó lắm. Bày tới luôn. Tôi mong muốn quay lại cũng không được như con chó. Rồi nè, chuyện.
By the way, we really aren't just going to talk, right?
of course. I wouldn't do anything to one of my business partners, especially when a Venger, it's Chiori. We've worked together all these years. The least you could do is allow me a face-to-face conversation.
Straightforward as always, I see.
And when has following convention ever gotten me anywhere? Why hire a messenger when I can just explain things in person?
Have you read the papers?
I don't like to waste my time on baseless lies and speculation.
You're right. I only subscribe to the Steam.
So, these rumors.
No, not at all. They were in...
Well then, there you go. Those sort of headlines become old news faster.
I think that someone paid off the tabloids to publish the same article at once. They even went so far as to leave it...
Every house? That means someone must have been planning this for a very long time.
It seems your rival really pulled out all the stops this time, Chiori. The article was even published alongside of...
What sort of photo?
A photo of you beating up...
Yesterday,
Ooh, chair again.
Here, I got a copy. See for yourselves.
Tao sẽ đập cho một trận
behind
nữa
the
đó.
scenes, the true Chiori boutique takes shape. Relying on its close ties to the criminal underworld, the Chiori
I don't know what happened, and I don't want to comment on things that I didn't see with my own eyes. Still, that photo...
Yeah, he was the one who started it.
I appreciate you standing up for me, Paimon. But it can't...
That's right. The court of public opinion has already made up its mind. Still, I've got to give your rival high marks for effort.
But that was so long ago.
In the world of fashion, your past is like a piece of clothing stained with mud. Once tainted, they claim that most of your clientele are criminals and that those who...
The absurdity. I don't even know which part to laugh at the most.
Well, it's no laughing matter. Maybe your clientele are criminals. Maybe they're not. There's even the possibility that, or with the way this article combines fact with...
Vendor, are you sure?
If I were young, but I'm no longer that brave young man with nothing to lose. I'd be perfectly happy to work with you again after this. But my daughter is manning the store during Fashion Week, and I don't want her implicated in all this.
I understand.
Let me offer you a piece of advice, Chiori. For old time's sake.
Người ta bị dư luận dắt mũi
Let
đó.
this Fashion Week go.
Tôi nghĩ là mọi người nên kiểm chứng trước thông tin trước khi thực sự là đả kích một người nào đó thực sự trên mạng. Tôi biết mọi người muốn chửi về sướng miệng thôi chứ cũng chẳng ai thực sự quan tâm đâu.
You're free to wait things out, Vendor. I'll make my own choices.
Have you ever thought maybe that attitude of yours is what...
Have you ever thought maybe this attitude of mine is precisely what paved the way for my success?
Xin lỗi mọi người nha, tôi mới có điện thoại. Rồi giờ tiếp.
Fair enough. Then, I suppose all there's left to say is... best of luck.
Understood. Take care.
So, what should we do?
Without the accessories, I can no longer use my old designs.
How could they do this? They're making things up. The boutique doesn't have anything to do with violent criminals. Can't people tell this is just a bunch of lies?
Public opinion has never been about what's true and what's not. It's about echoing the loudest voice in the room. I should have seen it from the beginning. Wu-Tan knows me too well.
Well, guess all we can do is just head back for now.
Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte, what are you doing here? Looking for you, of course. Did you see those fashion tabloids this morning? You mean that sorry excuse for an article? Oh, just thinking about you too, huh? Whoever wrote that article must have known the Steambird would never print something so defamatory. Unfortunately, not all papers and Miss Chiori doesn't deserve to suffer all this baseless slander. That's great! With your help, we might be able to get some people back on our side! It's my pleasure. I've met Miss Chiori several times. I know she's not the kind of person that article makes her out to be. She was the one who made the hat and tie for my camera, Monsieur Verite. Speaking of Miss Chiori, do you know where she went? Olaf told me you were all together. She was just here.
If you ask me, I think Chiori Boutique is done for.
I mean, what did they expect? Engaging with criminals behind their customers' backs.
Sao lại mấy người không hối hận kìa?
I've even bought from them before. Really? How was it? The owner was plenty fierce, that's for sure. Makes sense if she regularly deals with criminals, I guess. I've got the chills just thinking about it.
Chẳng có căn cứ gì.
Oh no, we've lost her. Did you hear what all those people were saying? Miss Chiori doesn't often appear in public or give a lot of interviews, so the general public hasn't had a chance. It's also true that her way of dealing with things can be a little extreme. This is all Pierre's fault. Paimon would take him. Wait a second. You don't think Chiori... That would only make the situation worse for her. I'm sure You've got a point. Let's just return to the boutique and see if she's there.
Rồi. Gì vậy thời trang thôi. Không có vấn đề gì không giải quyết được.
We're back! Oh, who's this?
This is Miss Letitia. She's a...
Oh, you were the one who came to collect the wedding dress.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just here to thank her.
Ah, so you've come across that article as well.
Yeah, you probably don't know this. But after I got in...
Why?
My fiancé owns a small business. It doesn't bring in a lot of Mora. He probably noticed how often I talked about Miss And then something happened to the business. And we ran into major Mora problems.
But didn't Chiori say she was able...
Yes. When I came to cancel she heard me out, and then told me not to worry. She assured me that the deposit I paid would be enough for the dress.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? I've always known Miss Chiori to be...
It is good. It's just... After I went home yesterday,
what a shame.
He's not... Well, see, that wasn't actually... He's seen a lot of wedding dresses in his time doing business. So as soon as he saw...
Huh? So wait, that means...
Yeah. Miss Chiori covered all the costs and...
Miss Letitia, I'd really like to use your story for a piece of...
Huh? Well, I think it'd go a long way.
Your real experience is more powerful than all those lies combined. Hey, Olaf! Has Chiori come back here since we left?
Huh? I thought you were all together.
Well, we were.
Oh, I remember now. There's this one cliff by the sea. Miss Chiori would always go there whenever she was upset.
In that case,
Có
why
quyền
don't we
tích
split up?
rồi thì chứ.
I'll continue interviewing Miss Letitia, and you two can go look for Miss Chiori.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Let's go.
Tiếng nhạc của Montaigne nó chill quá mọi người, nó chill quá. Gần cái cầu. Rồi để tôi đi toilet cái nha mọi người. Ôi, tôi quay lại đây.
There you are, Chiori!
How did you know where I... Alof told you, didn't she?
She did. We were just looking for you at the shop and Letitia was there. She wanted to thank you for the dress.
I'm not upset. I just wanted to get some fresh air. Want to sit here with me? The view's quite stunning. Sorry about that. I'm the only one here most of the...
All right, don't mind if we do.
Well, how does it feel?
This place is pretty great.
Right? It's quiet and open, and far from the relentless critique from fashion commentators and the media.
Yeah, it's important to take yourself out of that kind of stressful environment every once in a while.
I didn't grow up in a very strict family. My parents would joke that I grew up to be so assertive because they spoiled me as a child. I would get together with the other children to climb trees and explore caves. One time, I even climbed over the walls of the Kamisato estate. One of the servants had to physically remove me.
Whoa, Grandma would have never imagined that.
But even as rambunctious as I was, when it came to needlework, I was as quiet and focused as could be. It was as if I discovered a whole new world within those vibrant, dazzling fabrics. You know the feeling?
Sorta.
My parents noticed, and they sent me to study under a famous Inazuman tailor. It wasn't long before I had driven away pretty much every master tailor on the archipelago.
You were that misbehaved?
I wasn't misbehaved, exactly. I just often had strange ideas when it came to fashion. On top of that, I hated the idea of groveling and making outfits for every arrogant big shot expecting me to be at their beck and call. Anyway, a few incidents later, I soon found myself without a master. Worse, not one shop was willing to hire me.
No wonder you left Inazuma.
I was angry and frustrated. So, before I left, I swore to all those masters that my brand would one day become renowned all over to that.
That's a great dream to strive towards.
After that, I came all the way to the Court of Fontaine, a city often referred to as the capital of arts and fashion.
Quan niệm truyền thống có thể là tốt, nhưng mà nó không phải lúc nào cũng là gọi là cái thứ mà mình hướng tới là một cái gì nó quá cũng có một thời gian thôi rồi nó sẽ qua.
Sure, I was living in a small cramped room, but I was finally free to make whatever I wanted.
Con người cần phải tiến bộ, ý là vậy. Hồi trước là nếu như nói như vậy thì mình chỉ còn sống như thời xưa thì chứ đâu còn thời nay. Đó là không phải là vấn đề, phải là thời đại nào cũng có một cái tiêu chuẩn riêng của nó. Những người phá vỡ những tiêu chuẩn đó để tạo ra những cái tiêu chuẩn khác cho thế giới này. Nó là vậy. Cuộc sống này là nó xoay vòng.
I had a far more naive view of fashion back then. As long as something was pretty, it would be... Of course, as I spent more and more time in the industry, I learned nothing was ever that simple. Least of all, fashion. Oh, you mean Letitia? Yeah, she did mention that dream. I'll be honest with you. Who would have thought? Even as I continue to pursue my dream, my work has also become someone else's. All right, that's enough sightseeing for one day.
Ooh, looks like you've got your game face back.
Back? It was never going to begin with. I did say I wasn't upset, didn't I?
Hannah thinks we should look for evidence that Uter wrote that article. Charlotte's already working on an article to address all those...
I don't like duking it out in the press. I know where Uter's clothing factory is located. It might...
Sounds good. We'll come with. As for Fashion Week, well, there's a...
Huh? When did this become an either-or situation? Find incriminating
but your accessories. Didn't...
Well, it's true that I haven't quite figured out what to do about that, but to tell you the truth, even here in Fontaine, every time I see the sea, I can't help but remember Inazuma. Thinking about all that, I just can't bear to take even one step back. The sea.
Hmm? What did you just say?
The sea. Seashells, coral. I've got it.
Got what?
Come, let's take a dip, shall we?
Chiori! Wait, hold up! Chiori, why did you just jump into the sea all of a sudden?
Paimon, what do you think is the most beautiful thing in the sea?
A Lumitoile? Or a pearl, maybe? Oh, pearl's pretty too. Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to use things like that as the accessories for your designs!
Well, now that you hit the nail on the head, help me grab some, would you?
Công chúa tế nhị. Ok, đây đủ mọi thứ rồi đó.
These should be enough, right? Paimon picked all the prettiest ones in this area. Chiori, will these do?
Everything looks great. I've also collected a pretty big batch, so we...
Great! So are we gonna head back now and make some new designs?
Yes, but don't forget, we've got more than just the designs. Okay, we've got the materials for the accessories.
You mean we have to start from...
I should be able to make it.
Oh no, skipping out on sleep is not the answer. Wait, how come this conversation is giving me a major deja?
Ganyu? Who's that?
A friend of ours who does way too much overtime. Well, anyway, sleep is important. You're not gonna convince Paimon.
Well, I can't argue with you there. All this grit and determination. It reminds me of the first fashion week I ever participated in.
What else can we help with?
I suppose all there's left to do is...
You got it.
You heard me. Tear them all up.
Okay.
When I went to that first fashion week, I had no savings to speak of. Just a few dozen yards of fabric, and I had to make something work. So I tore up all the clothes that I brought with me from Inazuma. And if it worked back then, why not now? We can also repurpose some of the ready-to-use accessories in the shop as well.
You worked so hard on all...
I know. That's why I refuse to let it all go to waste.
Okay, then... Here goes nothing.
No need to be nervous. I won't hold it against you. Of course, if anyone dared to tear up one of my dresses in front of me on a normal day, I'd probably toss them into the sewer.
Nghe sao thế? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Just this once, though. I think I can make an exception. Go ahead and tear them up.
Đánh hả?
Think of it as a good way to vent your emotions.
Ok.
Spring forth!
Đó, như thế nhỉ.
Good job. That should do it.
Chiori, are you alright? Sorry for taking so long. I got caught up in... Whoa. What happened to your shop? Who did this? Those monsters. Slandering you in the papers wasn't enough for them, was it? Give me their names. Since they're all too eager to tear up other people's clothes, I think it's about time the Spina di Rosula return the favor.
should calm down a bit first, cause you see,
Huh? Oof, what is this, a soap opera? I was the one who asked the traveler to tear out the outfits. We need all the fabric and accessories we can get. Oh, so that's what happened. I guess I got a bit ahead of myself just now. Back to what you were doing, everyone. You can...
Navia sure is scary when she's angry.
Sợ quá. Tôi thề với mọi người, tôi sẽ không bao giờ gây chiến với một người phụ nữ nào cả.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a false accusation. No one's gonna orchestrate some conspiracy to take down one of my...
You and Chiori are really close.
Of course! Everyone knows that Chiori makes the most gorgeous outfits in town. All of the Spina di Rosula's formal wear is custom. Now, if only you'd give me the contract for your uniforms as well. As if you'd enjoy designing something as boring and formulaic as a uniform. That's why I didn't ask you in the first place, silly. Plus, with how much your intel has helped us out in the past, to the Spina, you're more of an intelligence agency than a fashion boutique.
If I had it my way, it would be the other way around.
Anyway, we both know why I'm here. Tell me,
If it's not too much trouble, can I borrow some skilled hands to help with some simple sewing work?
oh, no problem. I've got a few of those guys all ready to go. When are you going to get started?
Actually, there's something.
Ask away.
Oh, and Traveler and Paimon, could you help me pass word to Linny and Lynette? I'll need their help as well.
I'm done with my interview. Has Miss Chiori made it back yet? Oh! What happened to the boutique? Who did this? Give me names. I'll make sure every last one lands a full feature on the front page of the Steambird tomorrow.
Lên nữa hả?
Not this again.
Livestream nhiều gì thứ hài hước quá ta.
What should we do about these clothes, everyone?
Sort them by the type of fabric first.
That sounds pretty straightforward.
Rồi đi phim liền này giờ tôi đi nát. Ini hồi trước là có cái banner không có ra, tôi không có roll. Tôi chờ tôi roll Furina đó. Màu roll được rồi nè. Nếu mình không biết thì đây, Furina đây. Waifu. Mà nói thiệt thì cũng mạnh rồi. Nói thì là dùng trong nhân vật mạnh nhất mà tôi từng có. Đúng là năm sau này các vừa đi trên nước mà vừa triệu hồi mấy con quái ra đánh mình rồi. Tôi không làm, tôi chạy vòng vòng nên tôi kêu cũng tự làm ra check. Không cần làm gì nhiều. Rồi xong rồi, thằng cứ út the đó chết mẹ với tôi rồi.
Linny, Lynette! Great, you're both here.
A moment later and you'd have missed us.
We read the article in the papers. We were just about to go find Miss Chiori. She helped design a number of our costumes in the past and even sponsored one of our performances. The time has come, it seems, for us to return.
Oh, perfect! She was the one who sent us!
In that case, I assume that there's something we can do to help.
Okay, so it's like this.
Chả hiểu gì.
Is that all we'll need to do?
Should be a piece of cake for the two of us.
Paimon's glad to hear it. Well then, guess it's about time we go and find some evidence for all the bad. Chiori said we shouldn't disturb her over the next couple of days. We can check in with her again once she's done with.
But the show's in another 2 days, isn't it? Will she be able to make the deadline?
Oh.
Well, according to her, she wants to first beat Uter fair and square at the show, and then defeat him in the court of public.
A two-pronged approach?
Courtesy first, confrontation second.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Understood. Then we'll have faith in her decision. We'll go make some preparations. See you at the venue in 2 days.
All right,
Okay.
we're counting on you.
Bye.
Okay, then let's also do as Chiori said and meet up with her at Uter's factory in 2 days. I'm sure hopes she won't have a hard time making all those new outfits for the show.
Rồi làm gì nữa nào? Dịch và chép mà. Nói ngày sau à? Rồi thế phải tổng sắp thời gian thôi. Này xác nhận game mà học nhiều triết lý quá mọi người. Đời thay đổi khi ta thôi để cái con khốn đâu à giờ đất này. Tao chém chết mẹ mày. Này cái được dùng thử.
You're here.
Chiori! How are the new outfits coming along? You look kinda tired.
Just a few steps left now. I've handed the rest over to Alof.
Wow, that's cutting it real close. Are you sure she'll be okay without you?
Don't worry. I have no intention of giving ground on either front. With the fashion show scheduled for tonight, Uter has closed his factory. This is our only chance to secure any incriminating evidence.
Okay, Paimon totally gets that this is all his fault and
His factory is usually open to the public. It may not be open for business right now, but that doesn't mean visitors can't stop up. We're just curious customers after all, aren't we?
Well, when you put it that way...
Anyway, Uter's factory is right over there. Let's hurry up.
Why would he open a factory over there?
We have different marketing strategies. While I specialize in high-end custom garments.
Alright.
Okay.
You make a good point. Let's all be on our guard.
Đọc chết mày ngoài chó này. Cây mày lắm mày á. Mày có 100 thằng này qua đây chơi Tết mày. Tao có hồi máu rồi mày. Rồi, nha mà. Đó, kệ đi, cái sự chiến thôi. Đẹp quá. Tôi có John Lee mà không dùng để làm gì đâu. Chả có chuyện đẹp. Chỉ nhanh đấy nhỉ. Cầm hàng kịp. Nó là cái trường ở đây không?
We're in. There really is nobody here.
Welcome, dear visitors.
Paimon nearly fell out of the air. What is that thing?
A mechanical guide. They usually use a recorded tape to give you a tour of the factory.
Please follow me, dear guests.
Okay, đi theo nó thôi.
First stop on our tour is a look at the gradual evolution of our clothing brand.
Chỉ có tiệm ở nơi như cức
After that,
cũng làm
we
ghê.
welcome you to peruse our most popular styles.
Uter seems to be doing pretty well for himself, doesn't he? Why would he feel the need to bother you when he could just focus on improving his own brand?
This is the studio where our designs are made. Please take a look.
Đây, một.
These are the fitting rooms. Please use them at your leisure.
Huh? There seems to be something in this fitting room. Why did the door just close?
Hold on tight, Paimon.
Why is it...
Có vẻ như là phòng bí mật không? Đâu thế?
It seems to have stopped.
Ok, mở rồi.
Where did this thing take us?
Seems like there's someplace deeper inside the factory.
Con chó là tuổi gì với tôi? Về cống gì vậy? Thì dí nữa. Đẩy được hay. Đây hay thế nhỉ? Tôi đang suy nghĩ có nên ron không, mà chắc không có đủ ron đâu. Bị đi cống gì vậy? Bơi hết vào đây.
Strike a pose. Let my name echo in song. Let's go.
Scatter!
Hey, go away. Don't be scared.
Delicate as silk.
Đi thôi.
This place is filthy. Are the clothes from Uter's shop seriously made here?
Look over there.
Ugh. That water looks super nasty.
And I was the one using unsafe materials, Uter.
So he was actually the one who...
No wonder his clothes always felt weird to the touch. He's been using all manner of tricks here in a bid to cut costs.
Should the clothes made here?
Never mind issues with shrinking and fading. These materials...
That's terrifying.
Rồi.
This way he won't be able to try and deny anything in court.
Tao cũng có anh Epidet chống lưng nha các bạn.
Doesn't look like there's a path here.
Follow me. Let's go up.
Làm gì? Sao? Dạ hiểu gì à? Ok.
This place seems like some kind of warehouse. Ugh, and it stinks too. Huh? What's going on? Our way in's been blocked.
Seems like he knew we'd be coming.
You did say he knew you really well, didn't you?
Yes. And that's because we used to be part.
Wait, you're practically at each other's throats. Now
When I first came to Fontaine, we were both fledgling designers who longed to gain a foothold in the world of fashion. In the beginning, we both wanted to make clothes that would stand, but with every criticism we received, and every sponsor that finally, right before Fashion Week, he came to the conclusion that, for my part, I gambled it all.
you received the acclaim of all Fontaine while...
I don't know the exact details of what happened after that.
He's just jealous of what you've accomplished.
Well, let's focus on getting out of here first. Missing the show is as good as letting him win.
There are some control panels
Nó cười thử coi nè. Ui, đi dọc dọc cứ
Oh, that doesn't seem to have done anything. Maybe try the next. That didn't do anything either.
Tao pha banh trong sữa mình là con.
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
All eyes on me.
Germinate!
Time to shut.
Warning, unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Propagate!
Positions. Huh. Yeah.
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Let the world collide. Scrub the color. Scatter.
Look over there.
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Rồi, đây. Dưới à.
We finally made it out. Why does it feel like the movement patterns of those mechs have changed?
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure. Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure. Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure.
Khó chịu rồi chứ. Bám.
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure.
Đây rồi. Đây à. Ui. Đây rồi.
We're finally out of that stinky place. Let's take this evidence and get out of here. Finally, the entrance. At last.
Oh, those chambers couldn't hold you, I see.
We've collected a bunch of evidence on all the nasty.
The evidence on your person, you mean? What makes you think...
Rồi, tiếp tục thôi.
More mechanical guards? Really? Ever thought about using these funds for a legitimate purpose?
Oh, but this is a...
What? Destroying Chiori Boutique? Or continuing to make your rotten rags?
Proving that fashion is merely a laughable farce.
You know what your problem is, Uter? You've become so obsessed with the concept of fashion itself that you let it paralyze you.
Spare me the lecture, why don't you? Sooner or later, you'll cater to all the voices too, you know. After all,
fashion is about aspiring towards a certain ideal. But it's up to you to decide what it is.
Well, once the people witness their former darling's spectacular fall, they'll...
That's what you've been trying to prove all this time? Your jaded understanding of the industry... You weren't like this before, Uter.
He realized long ago how utterly naive that...
You gave up on your dream, but that wasn't enough, was it? You think you understand. But you're just a bitter man who let his regrets dictate his choices. This whole thing, Uter. It's pathetic.
Pathetic? Why don't you take a look in the mirror? You're a fool.
You're right. Maybe all those who pursue it, but more pitiful still are cowards who are too afraid to even
You!
Yeah, just leave this guy to act.
No, you go instead.
But he hasn't...
It'll be fine. Just go to the venue and tell everyone to proceed. I'll deal with him. Some listen.
Catch up with us soon.
Thằng này chết chắc rồi.
Trying to leave, are we?
I've held back all this time because of our past partnership, Uter. All that changed after our tour of your factory. No matter what you've been through, no matter why you've become like this. If I may borrow the words of a friend, a guy like you doesn't deserve my sympathy.
Bật đèn đó thôi.
Allow me to show you the true meaning of the Chiori brand.
Đâm chết mẹ ơi, hỏi nó nhiều. Gặp tôi đâm nó chết con đứa mẹ.
The Chiori brand represents more than a person or a trademark. It's a way of life.
Greetings, friends at Fontaine Fashion Week. Please feast your eyes on the extravaganza that Chiori Boutique has prepared for you today.
Brilliant, dazzling, and wholly unique.
Mấy cái cutscene này nhìn đẹp thiệt hơn luôn.
An enduring, never say die spirit. That's the true meaning of the Chiori brand. And now, let's welcome the thundering seamstress, Miss Chiori herself. Did Chiori not... Lights, cameras, over here, please.
Let the show begin.
The world may change, fashion along with it, but Chiori will remain the same. No challenge is too great. Chiori caters to no one, not even the times. Rather, Chiori will always lead the fashion of our time. Finally, let's not forget.
Đây là cutscene giữa ta.
not give up on their dreams are worthy of this brand. Well then, I suppose all that's left to say is Happy Fashion Week, fellow dreamers.
Cái scene này làm được quá. Mà thực ra thì đỉnh từ lâu rồi, cái nhiệm vụ của Furina cũng rất là đỉnh. Thì là hát đồ thứ hay vãi.
How about this?
A little more to the left.
Like this?
Perfect.
Oh, that looks great! Miss Chiori, can I take a picture?
Of course.
I didn't know you'd make a brand new signboard.
I made it before Fashion Week. I figured it'd be best to put it up after the success of the show.
Well, how can you become renowned through all of Teyvat without a fancy signboard of your own? The Spina's way ahead of you in that regard.
Now that you mention it, perhaps our magic troupe could use one of those.
Our signatures are the Grinmouth and Cat and the Boggle Cat box. Oh, and we need to add Pear as well.
Pear would need an alias, of course.
So, does that mean your signboard is going to be 2 cats and a penguin stuffed into a single hat?
Ooh, that sounds super snuggly and warm. And a bit cramped. Miss Chiori, I'm done taking pictures. You can expect the article in tomorrow's Steambird, along with the evidence the Traveler gathered.
Thank you, Charlotte.
It's my pleasure. Bringing the truth to light is a journalist's duty.
Đây đầu tư cốt truyện tốt phết này. Nói gì cả. Tốt phết. Nói thiệt là vậy. Tôi thấy cốt truyện ở Irenzuma là chán nhất. Mấy ông chê gì đâu mà cốt truyện chán vậy. Sau qua Sumeru rồi mới bắt đầu đỡ lên. Qua phần tên tuyệt vời luôn. Tuyệt vời.
Going forward, feel free to custom order any accessories you need from Monsieur Verite. It's on the house.
Huh? You really made it?
Of course. The same goes for you too, Linny and Lynette. If you have need of any
What about something other than a costume?
Thank you, Chiori. It's much appreciated.
Well, I don't really need anything. Just don't be a stranger, all right? I don't need anything either. So long as you continue to request my international courier services from Actually, that reminds me. When we... about that. The Spina di Rosula has prepared a special vehicle for you, so you can just get in and we'll push it all the way out of Fontaine.
Nhìn mặt của Ether với cái bài mòn mà cười vậy.
What? No, that's so embarrassing. Ooh, do we hit something nice too, Chiori?
Of course. Just hold on a second.
Disrupting public order at the show. Appropriating venue lighting equipment without authorization. Using weaponry in public. Hosting a dangerous performance without notifying the authorities.
Shivers, we can explain.
If you come across anyone who matches those descriptions, please report them to the Special Patrol at your earliest convenience.
Okay. Giỡn thật vậy.
Enjoyed that, didn't you? You nearly scared me half to death.
Says the one who pulled that stunt earlier. How about you do me a favor and tell me in advance next time you're planning...
And if I had, would you have approved?
No, but it would have at least spared me a whole lot of anxiety.
Well, I would say I more than made it up to you, have I not? A whole underground workshop in the Flute Sandra, and a man responsible, all tied up and handed to you on a silver platter.
All right, I won't argue with you.
Well, friends, I would say we've earned ourselves a nice meal for our efforts. Let's go. Spina's treat.
I'll have to take a rain check. I've still got a lot of paperwork to take care of. Oh, by the way, Chiori, I ran into Wenger on the way here.
I don't need to hear it. I'm sure...
You know him well.
Thanks again, Chevres.
My pleasure. Oh, and one last thing. That was really quite an amazing show.
You don't say.
All right, all right. Follow me if you want in on the celebrate...
Traveler, Paimon, could you go wait for me at that place with the view? I'll let Navia know that we'll be a little late.
A place with a view? Oh, Paimon knows where you mean. Sure, no problem.
Ok.
Perfect. I'll be right there.
Thế thế. Câu chuyện đến đây. Nhưng mà vẫn chưa tới khúc chuyện dụng ma thần nữa. Tôi muốn tới nó là mà chắc cũng còn phải chắc 5 chấm rồi tới.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't wait long at all. Wait, what did you want to give us that you couldn't share right in front of everyone?
Here, take this.
Oh, wow! A brooch! And in the style of Chiori boutique, too! Wait, Paimon gets one as well?
I've only made 2 for now. After much consideration, I decided to give them to you two. You've been a great help. Even when things were looking bleak, you stayed by my side. There were even times when I felt like I had to fight back and win. Even if it was just to honor the trust that you had in me.
Well, we may have helped a little, but Paimon would say you deserve most of the credit.
I know for certain that was not the case. I've chased my dream for so long that I've come to understand something. Apart from conviction and persistence, the thing that matters most is having friends who believe. A single person can only do so much. Without all your help, Chiori Boutique could have easily fallen to ruin.
Well, Paimon doesn't think it would have ever gotten to that point. Not if you had anything to say about it. But
perhaps my words were a little pretentious, but they do reflect how I truly feel. I won't bow or scrape before any force in this world, much less any individual. I'm confident in the quality of my work. Create something beautiful, and there will always be people who appreciate it.
well, guess there's nothing to worry about that. Should we go back and join them at the victory feast?
Oh, yes, of course. You know, of all the nights I've spent in Fontaine.
Ok. Wow. Chuyện hay thế nhỉ? Chắc là đồ trang trí thì cũng chẳng có gì đâu. Rồi, ở đây thôi nha mọi người. Hẹn gặp lại mọi người ở trong video khác của mình. Bye bye. See you again.